Man, this is a bummer to me only because I like viewing Twitch in a bunch of different mediums, but Twitch is pulling and ending support for the Twitch app on the Nintendo Switch.
Really?
Yeah, Twitch launched on the Switch back in 2021. And, you know, from the very beginning, people have raised issue with it. You know, you can't see the streams chat and you can't subscribe to the creator straight there from the app. And I get all that, and, you know, that it might be uglier and stuff like that. But like, I also feel like Twitch is one of those weird apps that I use a lot. And I've also seen it get taken off of a bunch of platforms. So like, this also happened on like the Xfinity set top, like cable boxes. Like I used to be able to watch Ed straight from my Xfinity box instead of having to like buy because it also got taken off of whatever television I have. I forget what kind of TV I have in there, but like it's not a native program on that television either anymore. It was like, you know, maybe LG or something like that or Samsung.
They used to have a native app for the Mac that you could use and bring it up, and now you can only do it in the browser because they ended support for that as well.
Yeah, and so like that seems like a big.
That was a couple of years ago.
You know what I'm saying? It's like yeah, and it's like Mac. Like, why wouldn't there be a dedicated app?
Yeah, and it's like, I know the browser's not that bad, but the app just worked better. But I guess because it was dedicated and they focused on it, it ran better, it was cleaner. All the accessories and buttons and things you wanted to do were just simple to use. I had no. It kind of blew my mind when they were like, "We're ending support." I'm like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, with the Xfinity app, I could like, you know, hit the little speech button and be like, you know, watch Ed Placencia on Twitch on the Twitch app, and it would bring Ed right up. And so I could, you know, especially the days that he's playing, you know, Overwatch and stuff like that, I could just have him playing in the living room and just support from, you know, now, sure, I couldn't see the chat on that either. I'm sure you could hit a button and see it, but like the first thing I went to was just the gameplay. And so, and I would actually chat on my phone because who wants to try to type on their, you know what I'm saying? On the, I don't remember there being a keyboard in that app. And so that was a other thing that people didn't like. They were like, you know, you have to type on your phone instead of, you know, through the Switch app. And I was like, maybe because I'd already had that hurdle before, it didn't seem like that big a deal. But Gabriella Rayla, in a statement to The Verge, I'm not sure who that is. I don't know why it doesn't say, but she said, we recently made the difficult decision.
On the street at Subway.
Yeah, I know.
Like, hey, you have thoughts on Twitch? Yeah, I do.
Hey, you look like a gamer. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. They have to have. It's just funny that they just say that it just says Twitch's Gabriella Rayla, you know, but it doesn't say like what her.
She just started streaming.
Yeah, she takes some medication for it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to click on her LinkedIn. I just don't want to be like, Gabe was on your LinkedIn. So she said, we recently made the difficult decision to remove the Twitch app from the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo remains a valued partner, and we appreciate all of the support the Switch community has provided to Twitch and our streamers. And it's like, obviously not. And so it just bums me out because I feel like I've seen Twitch taken off of things where I'm like, this should be like the easiest thing ever. Like, but I don't know if they're just feel like the quality isn't there to be able to, like, they want to have best foot forward and they don't want to play the Android game of like trying to be on everything. And so you have to change just this little detail just to be on that TV and change this little detail to be on Xfinity and change this little detail to be on Nintendo. So I get it, but it's just a bummer. So it'll be taken off the eShop on November 6th, which is right around the corner. And let's say you already have it downloaded, you will lose access on January 31st of 2024. So if you already got it, you'll be able to still watch for a couple months, but it will be going away.
I was at TwitchCon. I was talking to a guy that worked at
Gabriella.
It wasn't Gabriella. It was a different random person.
Oh man,
I love random people. That's great.
Exactly. And he was a dev, and he was talking about what a pain it is to make a game for PC, for this console, that console. And I can't imagine how much worse it is for this TV, for that app, for that. It's gotta be.
It would be
a lot exhausting. More than, as we always joke, copy, paste, save as.
Save as Nintendo Switch version. So this says the director of global corporate communications. is what is her name over at Twitch. Yeah, and I understand that. Like that totally makes sense to me, but it's one of the big 3 consoles. And so it seems like I understand that being an issue for all the TVs, but like, why don't we just go ahead and make it work on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the Nintendo? At least.
Or the
it
Mac.
Seems like
that's one of the big 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Coupled with that, do they have a dedicated app for Windows? I don't know if they do or ever did.
I don't know if they do or not.
Yeah, so that might have been part of the reason. Maybe they only had it on there, and they're like, "Look, this don't make sense. Y'all got browsers. Use that."
Yeah, just put it in the browser.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But it's just a bummer, just because I want streamers like Ed to be able to be supported from wherever, for it, especially for the Nintendo to be a handheld, it's just like the perfect place to watch that. So that's just a bummer to me.
It's funny because I was as you were talking, Gabe, I was like, that's funny because our Sony TV still. Oh wait, that's the Fire Stick plugged into the Sony TV. And that's the which owns,
which owns Twitch. Yeah,
of course that's gonna work.
Yeah. But I think they've pulled it from a lot of different things, and so it's just like you just wonder, could it be bigger? Could it be if it was everywhere? Yeah. And you just decided to double down, but I don't know how they make their money. I don't know, are they killing it? Are they not killing it? Do they not have the extra money to be like, hey, let's support Samsung televisions. You know what I'm saying? Let's support Xfinity's set top. Like, I just don't know why when it was taken off, I was just so bummed. I was like, now I got to go get a Chromecast, and then I've got to, broadcast from my phone to the thing to let it know, because it doesn't have a native app either.
I've been curious
I wonder if
to
it's
see
still
if
on the Apple.
Yeah, it's still on Apple TV, and I've been curious if they were going to pull it, because you can just stream it from your device. You can just sling it over there, and so I've wondered, like, is it going to go away? But the desktop app, I mean, it's a couple of years ago, and it's the Twitch app on Apple TV has not gone away yet. So fingers crossed it doesn't, because it's just easier than having to bust out my phone and all that.
That's what I think. Like, I understand that we all pretty much have our phones glued to our hands, but like, not at home. Like, I don't always have it on me at home. Right. And so like, it'll be sitting on the island, you know what I mean? And so like, the fact that I can't just do it from the TV just bugs the mess out of me. Cause it seems easy, but obviously I don't know anything, there's that side of it too.
That's true.
You weren't supposed to agree.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let it go by.
I don't know anything either, by the way.